I should be more honest with you. My small talk did have a brief resurgence back when everyone was playing the game Wordle. Do you remember they brought out this game called Wordle? Do you remember when they first brought it out and everyone was playing it? It's basically like a word game. You get like a process of deduction. You get like 6 goes to deduce a 5-letter word by any sort of process. It's sort of like a mixture of sort of linguistics and logic problem, really. It's actually sort of really addictive. I'm actually still playing it. I'm the last wordler in the West. Is there a solitary single wordler left in here tonight? They're in! The last 10 are in! Is anyone... Oh, I'm so relieved. Do you know what? We are dying out, wordlers. I don't know if you know. I did one show where there was no wordlers in the entire audience, and one woman, I think to make me feel better, put her hand up and went, "My mum's still doing it." But is there any of the hot young things who just shouted yes to Wordle? Has anyone done it today? Yes. Oh, yes! Is that lady there, second row in the second section? You've done it today, is it? You've done it today. What's your name? Corin. Corin? Let's small talk about Wordle. Let's do it, Corin. Corin, how many did you get it in today? 4. Me too! Oh my God, like brain twins! And that's just really how you small talk about Wordle. Corin's my best friend now. No, Corin, how did you feel when the New York Times bought Wordle?
Yeah, not brilliant.
Not brilliant? I'm not sure, Corin.
I liked it more random. It's too complicated.
It's got too complicated. She has actually, it turns out, got quite a long answer. I've loved that answer, Corin. A lot of the time I ask people, how do you feel when the New York Times bought Wordle? It turns out they didn't care because they've got a sort of full and rounded life. But not me or you, Corin. I knew we were twins of the brain. I also cared, but I think for different reasons to you, by the sounds of it. I don't mind that it got harder. I don't mind American words coming up. What I hated is that I don't know if you know this happened. When the New York Times took this puzzle over, they cancelled loads of 5-letter words. So there's loads of 5-letter words that will never come up because the New York Times decided that they would be too potentially offensive. But I don't understand why they've chosen the words that they've chosen. Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's loads of filth still in there. You can still have minge, boner. But they've cancelled words like the American spelling of fetus. What? What's offensive about the word itself? Ageist? I don't know, but most upsettingly for me, on the banned list of words, is the word wench. Yes, if you've been dragged here by a partner, that is the title of the show. I didn't know it's an offensive word, did you? What a way for me to find out that out of all the comedians, it turns out I am an edgelord. It's awful. No, you need the small talk. You've got to keep it up. You've got to keep up your wordling so you can keep up your small talk. You've got to keep small talking because you need it to make new friends. And I think it's so important to keep making new friends, even into adulthood, because it's fine to have the old friends, but they've got all your smelly baggage, haven't they? They know everything about you. And what's great about making new friends, even into grown-upness, is you get a clean slate, don't you? You get a fresh start. You can, especially you can present yourself as whoever you want, can't you? The new friend, can't you? Especially if you changed or whatever, you can present. If you want, you can present yourself as fine. And that's nice. And it's much harder to make a new friend with just big talk. I did it once. It was in the first lockdown, the main one, the surprise one, the OG, the great unraveller. I was trapped with just my young son, 4-year-old at that time, son, during that one. So I was so desperate for the company of an adult who was physically there that in the year 2020, I actually made friends with my neighbour. Yeah, wait for it. In London. Yeah, I don't know if any of you have seen somebody who lives in London try and make friends with someone who happens to live on their road. It's disgusting. It's like watching a snake try and play a piano. But I did it. Needs must, right? I did it, I went for it. I didn't muck about, I went for the woman who lives opposite me, Harmony. Not loads in common, not an obvious choice for a new best friend on paper. I think sort of very much older than me, good 2-3 generations older than me. I don't know that we culturally got loads in common. She, just into different stuff. She loves God. Mainly God. God, and flowers and stuff. But we did it, we did it. And we did it without any small talk. And I thought, God, this is perfect. Because we had the pandemic in common, we didn't need any of the little boring old chit-chat. We got straight into the juicy stuff. Births, death, divorce. We shared tears, fears, cakes. I thought, who needs a blooming small talk? This is perfect. I love it. Months in, though, I did realise I hadn't sown the perfect foundational seeds for a friendship. When she said, you've never told me what you do for work. And I was like, oh, I'm a stand-up comedian. And she went, oh my God, that's so exciting. I'll have to look you up, Francesca. It's too late to ever correct her. I'm just going to have to let her call me that for the rest of our lives. I am so aware that in this day and age, I am meant to, as a stand-up comedian, if I'm going to talk about someone that's real in the world, I am under a strong ethical obligation to change their name, especially if they've got a distinctive name, like Harmony, especially if you're filming the stand-up. But in this instance, what is the fucking point? She's literally got no way of ever finding me.